Hey everyone, it's Stimulus Money here with Wealth Wave, bringing you an urgent update that millions of Americans absolutely need to hear right now. I wish I had better news to share, but if you rely on SNAP or EBT benefits to help feed your family, this message could not be more important. The Trump administration just made a major announcement, and it's one that could leave millions of households without food assistance starting November 1, according to the latest reports. The government will not be using contingency funds to cover November SNAP payments. That means, unless something changes fast, tens of millions of people could miss out on critical food benefits for weeks, possibly even longer. Now, before anyone panics, stay with me. I've read through all the official USDA statements, government memos, and congressional updates so that I can break this down clearly and tell you exactly what's happening, what it means for you, and what steps you can take right now to prepare. First off, here's where things stand. The federal government shutdown that started on October 1 is still ongoing, and because of that, the Department of Agriculture says it doesn't have the legal authority to use those contingency funds for regular SNAP benefits. In their exact words, and listen closely to this, contingency funds are not legally available to cover regular benefits. Translation? The money just isn't there. Even though there's about $5 billion sitting in the SNAP contingency fund, the government actually needs around $9 billion to fund next month's benefits. And even that $5 billion can't be touched because officials say it's being reserved for future emergencies. So basically, the money exists, but it's locked away. Meanwhile, Congress is completely deadlocked. The Senate is divided, with Republicans saying Democrats must end the shutdown first, and Democrats refusing to move until Republicans agree to extend Obamacare subsidies. And once again, the people caught in the middle are ordinary Americans, the 40 million families who depend on SNAP just to put food on the table. To make matters worse, some lawmakers are reportedly planning to drag this standoff all the way to November 1 to see who breaks first. And that's where things turn devastating, because this isn't just politics, these are real lives on the line. Let's talk about the real-world impact here. Over 40 million Americans rely on SNAP benefits. We're talking about working families, veterans, seniors, and people with disabilities, people who are already doing everything they can to survive. Let's look at a few examples. In New Mexico, about 28% of households receive SNAP, averaging around $354 a month. In Alabama, that average is $384. In Missouri, $391. And in Texas, about $410 per household. Now, imagine if that benefit suddenly disappeared, or worse, if instead of your full $350, you only got $35. That's what could happen if the government decides to issue only partial payments using a small piece of those contingency funds. For a single mom feeding 3 kids, that's a nightmare. For seniors living on a fixed income, it's devastating. And for millions of working Americans barely scraping by, this could be the breaking point. Here's what's even more concerning. Even if the administration suddenly decided today to use those contingency funds, it would take weeks for the money to be distributed. That's because the USDA didn't start preparations for partial payments in time. So even if they act right now, most low-income Americans would still miss November benefits altogether. Now, there is one small glimmer of hope on the horizon. Representative Marionette Miller Meeks has introduced a bill called the Keep SNAP Funded Act of 2025, which would guarantee food assistance continues during government shutdowns. Over in the Senate, Senator Josh Hawley is reportedly pushing a similar companion bill that could come up for a vote soon. But here's the reality: even if both chambers agree, it could take up to 2 weeks before anything gets passed and funded. That means millions of families could still go half the month without food benefits. And now, we're hearing that Democratic governors and anti-hunger groups are preparing to sue the administration for not using contingency funds. Legal experts argue the government actually has a duty to use those funds to protect food security. But let's be real, lawsuits take time. And hungry families don't have time. At the heart of this issue is a political standoff. SNAP has become a bargaining chip in the larger battle over government funding. And as pressure mounts, people who depend on this critical safety net are being told to stock up now, prepare for delays, or seek help from food banks. Here's the bottom line: unless something changes immediately, November benefits are not coming on November 1. So, let's talk about what you can do right now to protect your family. Use your October benefits wisely. Focus on buying shelf-stable items that last: rice, beans, canned goods, pasta, peanut butter, and tuna. Avoid perishables unless you plan to eat them this week. Contact your local food bank today. Don't wait until the crisis hits. Ask about their hours, requirements, and when they distribute food. Talk to family or friends. I know it's not easy to ask for help, but this is the time to reach out if you need to. Call your senators. Tell them your family can't wait 2 weeks for them to argue politics. Let them know how real this is for you. Check your state's emergency food assistance programs. Some states offer help outside of SNAP, especially during shutdowns. Use other benefits like WIC or school meal programs. Those operate under different funding sources and could still be active even if SNAP stalls. Now, I want to be completely transparent: even after this shutdown ends, we could still see future SNAP cuts or reductions. So it's smart to plan ahead, stretch your benefits, and look for backup options now. This situation is heartbreaking. The fact that millions of people in the richest country in the world could go hungry because of political games is unacceptable. But here's what I want you to remember: you are not alone. There are over 40 million people going through this with you, and there are resources, organizations, and communities ready to help. And here on WealthWave, I'll be following every single update. As soon as Senator Hawley's bill gets a vote, as soon as lawsuits are filed, or if any emergency relief is announced, I'll break it down for you right here. So make sure you're subscribed to WealthWave with notifications turned on, because this situation is changing by the hour. Share this video with anyone who relies on SNAP or EBT. The more people who know what's coming, the better prepared we can all be. I've included links in the description to food bank locators, emergency food programs, and other resources that might help your family right now. We're going to get through this. It won't be easy, but together, we will survive and rebuild stronger than before. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next update. Stay strong, everyone. This is Stimulus Money with WealthWave, and I'll keep fighting to make sure your voice is heard.